Hey everyone, welcome to our new product management course. So in this video, I'll be basically covering about myself. I'll just briefly introduce myself, what I have done, and then I'll talk about what is product management, why is it important, and who are we addressing this particular course to. So welcome again, and let's start. So yeah, I have passed out of IIT Bombay in 2019, and I have founded my own startup and worked on it for a while. And then I worked as a business analyst in an ad tech company. Then I worked as a product head for a media company. And very lately, I have worked as a product manager. So the way I have came into product management, it is very, I personally feel like it was very natural. So I like the business analysis and uh, the work I have done. But at the same time, it was a bit more mechanical. And right now, I found my product management work as very it is not exactly a science. That is what I personally believe. So I would like to talk a bit about why product management is really important nowadays and why it is a hot topic. Also, I want to say it out loud. I will be assuming that whoever is viewing this course, whoever is taking this course, they'll be either students who are currently studying in colleges, third year, final year students, or people who are having less than 2 years of experience as software developers or analysts. So, yep. So, why this is very important is product management is really a very vast topic, and I won't be able to cover everything in this course. So, what I have seen from other courses is they try to cover everything in the sense they will be trying to cover the product strategy, market analysis, and product discovery techniques, product delivery techniques, everything. And personally, what I have felt is when I have been trying to learn more about product management, I found many of the topics very irrelevant to me. Uh, when I say irrelevant, it is like when I join any company on an entry level, I won't be actually working on the product strategy, right? So I'll be mostly working on the delivery part of it and maybe discovery part of it, like how can we deliver value to our customers, that part. I won't be in a very leading position where I can decide the strategy for the company, right? So that is why I felt like this course is very important. This course is very relevant because we are not covering everything. We are only covering the most fundamental topics of product management, which is really relevant and helpful for people who are trying to start as a product manager. So, so I will be assuming the same thing. And when I talk about different topics, my style will be more like talking about all the basics. And people who already have 2 years of 3 years of experience in product management, they might find this topic very basic, but the design of the course is such that it is completely intended. So with that assumption, let's go to the next slide. So this is one of the important uh, part I actually want to talk about. So nowadays we have seen that so much of uh, openings are coming up in product management, and so many investors are ready to invest their hard-earned money in product companies. So 20 years back, this was not the case. IT service company was the hot thing, but now it is not the same. We can actually see that most of the uh, like new startups, they are product oriented, and there is actually a reason to this. So let's just take an example. So think about a IT service company, and in that company they have different kind of employees. There will be engineers, there will be customer success managers, there will be salespeople, there will be account managers, etc. And just for simplicity, let's think about this. What if an IT service company want to serve crores of clients, and in total they have created 50 crore websites? Just think about it. Assuming that one engineer in that company is handling 100 websites, they'll be needing at least 50 lakh engineers itself, right? If one engineer is managing 100 websites, this particular company will need 50 lakh of engineers. And if they are following a service company model, they will definitely need this many employees. But if they are trying to make a product out of it, they can reduce the number of employees, they can reduce the cost they are incurring drastically. So just uh, out of curiosity, I was just checking how many employees WordPress has, and this is the number. WordPress actually has only 2000 employees, and they have almost 50 crores website that has been built on WordPress. So you can imagine why investors are really interested in product companies. It is like with minimal cost, this product can really scale to this kind of a level. 50 crore website only with 2000 employees. Just think about it. So that is the main reason why investors are really interested in product companies right now. And that is why you can actually see so many openings coming up in product manager roles. But so this is the advantage of being a product company. It is very scalable in the sense with just 2000 employees, you can create a huge business model out of it. You can create a huge business like 50 crore website is, I don't remember the total revenue of WordPress, but you can imagine the scale with just 2000 people, right? So that is one huge advantage product company will always have. And the next advantage is predictability. Like they can create repeat sales without having to put so much effort in sales. They don't need a huge sales team. Even I have created 3 or 4 websites in WordPress, but I never received a call from their sales team. They don't have a really big sales team. So what they have is process around their product. And this is the second advantage of having a product, which is predictability. The second and the third advantage is operational efficiency. Think about it. It makes sense, right? If you have very less employees, it is really easy to manage them, and the number of human intervention really comes down. So it's very easy to set up a process if you have very less people. And nowadays it's really easy to set up processes because many of the processes are automated. So this is the next advantage of having a product. And definitely, yeah, when anyone is trying to think of a business, there will be a lot of investors ready to invest in your business if you have a product, and the valuation of your company just go to 10x or 20x if you are a product company. If you compare it with a service company, it will be like 2x or 3x of your total revenue. But if you have a product, if you can pitch that this is a product company, then investors are ready to value your company at 20 times of your revenue. This is a rough figure I'm talking about. It's not you know very strict rule, but yeah, you can see a lot of product companies coming up nowadays. And how do we do this? How do we reduce, if you are the owner of the company, how do you reduce the number of employees? You have to reduce the number of customer success managers, account managers, customer care, sales and marketing, and developers, right? So how do you do this? So first of all, uh, let's take the same example. So if WordPress is deciding to go the product way instead of making a service company, they are planning to make a product company out of this business. So how will they do it? Let's say they have 20 crore clients, and each of the client will be having so many requirements. Like they'll request for customized features. Let's, for simplicity, let's take just one client is asking for one specific requirement, specific feature. If the developers have to develop all the features they are requesting, they'll have to develop 20 crore features, right? So how can you make 20 crore features from 2000 developers? It's not possible. So what companies will do is they'll take all the 20 crore requirements, but they'll decide that we will only work on 200 features. And that is how they reduce the number of employees. They'll develop these 200 features, and they'll make a product out of it, and they'll try to sell to as many clients as possible. This is the whole idea of becoming a product company. And they'll reduce the number of staffs in sales and marketing, customer care, account management, customer success management, etc. But there's a catch. If it was very easy, why it is very difficult to build a profitable product company? So there are some disadvantages related to the product company. If you are having a service company, you can easily make uh, most of the features. You are in touch with clients all the time, and you will be serving all the requirements of the clients most of the time. Even if it is like one client is asking for one specific feature which is very small, you might still make it if you are a service company. But in a product company, still you are not doing that, and because of that there will be a few disadvantages. It is not very easy to build a product company. So let's see what are the disadvantages. In the previous example, if WordPress has decided to work on only 200 features, out of the 20 crore features they are getting, the requests they are getting, how do they select those 200 features? How do they decide which features to work on? Now that they have fired most of their employees and they only have 2000 employees, right? How will they decide which 200 features to work on? This is one big question. If they, what if they work on 200 features and clients are not willing to pay? Then your business is doomed, right? This is one main disadvantage of having a product company. You have to really make sure that clients are willing to pay. The second disadvantage is, let's say you have created 200 features and you have put out the product. Clients are also willing to pay. But what if many of the clients are not understanding how to use it? For example, if you, uh, assuming that you are under 30 years of age, you can, it's very easy to uh, go to WordPress website for you and create a website from scratch. It's very easy for you. But think about it. If you share the same thing with your uncle or your dad, they'll find it a bit more difficult to navigate through the whole WordPress website, and they'll find it difficult to create their own website. They are not very tech savvy as you are. So this is the second disadvantage. Even if the client is willing to pay, will they be able to use it? So to manage these two disadvantages, what product companies usually do is they'll define their target audience, their target customers. People above 50 might not be uh, the main target customers of WordPress. So every product company will focus on their main target customers, and this is actually to manage this particular disadvantage. Now, the third disadvantage is you have got an idea, you have uh, you have got one particular feature, you know that clients will pay for it, and you know that clients will use it. But what if currently it is not feasible to make it? So I'll give you one example about WordPress only. So let's say, uh, let's imagine a feature, something like this. In Google Docs, three people can edit the document simultaneously in real time, right? And they can see the person who's editing, and they can see what is the edit that is happening. They can see all this in real time. What if WordPress is deciding to create a feature where in one team, three people can simultaneously edit and see the changes in real time? I don't think right now they have this feature. So clients will most probably pay for this one, and clients who are using, mainly people under 30 years of age, right? Small companies as well, they'll be ready to pay for that. They'll easily use that as well. But it is having lots of technical challenges to pull this off, pull, to make this feature basically. So think about it. It has to be really smooth. It has to be, uh, there should not have any lag, and there will be some conflicts as well. So you have to manage the conflicts if one person is editing one thing and another person is editing on the same thing. So how do you manage those conflicts? So these are some technical challenges. So you have to consider, as a business owner, you have to really consider if it is technically feasible to build that particular product or build that particular feature. So that is the third disadvantage of a product company. You have to manage this as well. And the most important and the final disadvantage is, even if clients are willing to pay, even if clients are ready to use it, even if it is technically feasible, does it make business sense? You have clients who are paying, you have clients who will use it, and you have made the product. But does it bring you the profit? This is the fourth challenge. Like if you are spending uh, 10 crore rupees and you are only getting 9 crore rupees back, clients are paying, but the total like revenue you're getting is only 9 crore. The cost itself is 10 crore. So you have to decide whether this makes business sense. So these are the four major risks every business owner will be thinking about when they are going into a product style of business. So these four risks, uh, I have noted these four risks here. It is the same thing you saw in the last slide. So according to the product management theory itself, these are the four major risks business owner have to manage. So will clients pay? That is the value risk. If you are, if the company is adding value to the customer, they'll be they'll be ready to pay. So you have to really make sure that you are delivering some kind of value. And second risk is usability risk. Are the clients willing to use it? Third one is feasibility, and the fourth one is viability. So these are the four major risks any product company will have to manage. So as you can see, this is 50% of product management. How to manage these four risks. This is 50% of product management. Since it is very important and it is very basic, we will be covering a lot about this particular topic. And this is basically, this topic is product discovery. So product discovery is all about delivering value to the clients and making sure they are ready to use it with your current technical capabilities to create a viable business. This is what is product discovery, and this is half of the product management. If you think about many products which failed in the market, which was like products that were really really cool. For example, like Google Glass, if you remember. So it was a cool product. It was very futuristic kind of a product, but for some reason, people didn't use it. It didn't pick up. So one of the major reason were it was not delivering enough value to the clients. It was not delivering enough value. They are paying some amount, but they don't feel like they are getting value for that amount. If you are paying 100 rupees, you should get back something, right? So people were not willing to pay that much for that particular product. So many of the products actually fail because of this particular reason. Value risk. It is very, very basic, but uh, talking about it is very easy. But doing that, practicing that is really, really difficult. And in any company, one person should be held responsible for managing these risks. And how do any company manage the risk? There should be one person who's talking to the clients very frequently and understanding what value we can deliver to those clients. Then the same person should be talking to design team and understanding the way clients want it to be designed. And if that person understands this very well, then the usability risk is also reduced. Like most probably clients will be okay to use it. Now the third risk, which is feasibility. So this person has to talk to development team. He'll have to negotiate with the development team that we can build this particular product in two months. That is what development team might tell him, and he'll have to fight with them. No, we need this in 2 weeks. So that kind of negotiation should happen, and that person should really make sure that what clients are willing to pay, we can also we have the technical capability to create that particular product, and that is how you that person will manage the third risk, which is feasibility risk. And then the final risk, viability. So this person will have to talk to the business team, and most of the cases, if it's a startup with 200 people in the company, this person will be talking to even the CEO, and even there he'll have to negotiate with the CEO sometimes, which is not very practical to be honest. But this person will have to understand the business. This person will have to understand what the company want to do in next 1 or 2 years, and accordingly he have to find a balance. Clients might want something, business team might want something else. So he'll have to understand how to manage these two. These two are conflicting interests actually. Sometimes business team will need something else so that company can make more money, right? And there will be a conflict. Client might need something else. How do a person manage this? And engineers are not going to do this. Development team has their own responsibilities. They have to make the product, right? So they are not going to do uh, these negotiations. They are not going to take these risks or manage these risks. Design team also is not going to do this, and business team has their own uh, responsibilities. They have to think about the profit and loss, how to make the next strategy for the business, for the company. So they are also not going to talk to the clients and design team and development team, right? So there should be one person, and that person is basically product manager. So as a product manager, you will have to understand what client needs, and understand uh, the design aspects. You will have to talk to the development team, negotiate with them, and then you will have to come up with a proper solution that the business team will be happy about. So from the clients, you might receive 200 requirements, and design team will say that, okay, we can make all this. Development team will also say that, okay, we can create this product in 6 months. Now, you have to uh, come up with a solution where business team is also happy, development team is also happy, clients are also happy, right? So this is what this product management is all about. And it helps if you have a design sense and a background of coding. It actually helps, but coding is not very necessary, but it is really good if you know the basics, right? And you'll have to understand the business as well. So that was the product discovery part. So I have covered the major part, the 50% of product management in the last slide. So I would uh, suggest that you can go back and rewatch it if you want. We are going to the next part of product management, and this is just the introduction, right? So I will be having another whole video regarding the discovery part and product delivery and all. This is just the introduction. So in any company, uh, they will be getting so many requirements, and they'll be deciding, okay, we need to build this product. In WordPress, let's say they have decided we need to build 200 features out of the 20 crore. So they have managed all four risks and decided and came up with solutions for those 200 uh, features. Now, how do they execute it? And that execution part is what product delivery is. As a team, you will have to have a 2-year plan, which is a long term plan. You will have to have a quarterly plan, a monthly plan, and a weekly plan or bi weekly plan. So this is what product delivery is all about. This is about communicating with different teams and uh, managing those teams. And you will have to manage the stakeholders, which are usually your clients, and then your business heads. And in small startups, founders will be also very interested in your plans, right? So you will have to manage their expectations, and for that, communication is really necessary. And practically speaking, this communication is done through some kind of plan. So these are the four plans usually companies follow. As you can see, a 2-year plan is uh, called a strategy. Like, it is basically about a direction we are going. As a company, we are going into this direction. So WordPress might be deciding, okay, we are not building for that real time editing and all. We are only building for small B2C users. We are not really building it for company and collaborations. So that can be one strategy. And uh, just remember this, there is no right or wrong strategy. There is only good and bad strategy. And in some cases, you'll only understand it was a bad strategy after you have executed it. So this is not exactly a science. It's kind of an art. And that is also why uh, product people are paid so high. Their experience actually matters. But these are the steps, the processes they usually follow. This is the style they are communicating usually. So they'll have a strategy. They'll have a roadmap for quarters for 1 year. For the next 4 quarters, this is the roadmap. Roadmap is again basically the kind of bundle of features we are going to build. Uh, and a monthly plan is usually communicated by OKRs. So OKR is objectives and key results. So a monthly plan is usually communicated like that. So product manager will decide, okay, this is the objective for this month, and how will the success look like? This will be the key results. Now, after each month, they will score themselves. Basically, they'll score the team, the output. And for each month, there'll be a scoring based out of 10 or 100, depending on the company and their culture. And a 1 or 2 week plan, it's usually called a sprint. And in the sprint, they'll be talking about small aspects of the features. In the OKR, it is a bit more broader view, right? You can now understand this, right? A strategy is basically a decision coming from the heads, the business head or the owner itself, uh, or the founder itself. And then they'll uh, break down this particular strategy into quarterly plans, and that is called a roadmap. You will have a bit more clear understanding of what to do for each quarter. And OKRs are monthly plans where it will be a bit more granular, and sprints are the most basic piece of this product delivery. So this is usually how the responsibilities are divided. The sprints In the sprints, it will be usually PM, product manager or associate product manager working on that. They'll talk to the development team, they'll also talk to the users, and they'll make sure that whatever was planned for that particular week, it is getting completed. Now, product managers usually work on OKRs as well, objectives and key results. So they will be communicating this objective to their seniors, and senior product manager will work on the roadmap, and executives like founders or the product head, they'll work on the strategy. This is how it usually works. And you have to keep in mind that uh, this whole structure is there for communication purpose. So it really depends on what kind of team you are working with, and which company you are in. It really depends on that. So each company will have their own style of uh, planning the roadmap, right? So uh, how to do that, the details we'll be covering in the next chapters about product delivery. But you have to understand, this is all about communication. This particular piece is all about communication. Okay, now we have covered product discovery, product delivery as well. And the next part is, let's say we have delivered all the features. Let's say the WordPress team has delivered all the 200 features, and they have to see whether it is working or not. They have uh, built the product, and for the last 1 week, clients have started using it. Now it is 2 weeks, 3 weeks. After, let's say, 6 months, they have to understand whether this is working. They have to understand whether they should build more features or delete some features. And this is where the optimization comes in. So there are few health checks product teams will do to understand whether their strategy was working, their plan was working. So few of those health checks are, you really need to understand as a product manager, you really need to understand whether the clients are using it. Is it still making business sense? And are they satisfied? Are we getting new clients? Right? So the first 3 points, you can see that if clients are using it, it means the plan is working. If it is still making business sense, then it means you don't have to change the business strategy as much. Now, if they are satisfied, then you can, you can be at peace. But in some cases, clients might be using it, it might be making business sense, but clients might not be satisfied. If that is the case, you have to understand why they are not satisfied. But for that, you have to actually make effort to do these health checks. You have to ask them uh, whether they are satisfied. There are so many techniques used for this. We'll get into that in another chapter called optimization. So for each of these uh, four things I listed out in the last slide, we have different type of metrics. To understand whether users are using our product, we use usage metrics. To understand if it is still making business sense, right, we can use outcome metrics. These are few examples. So this is daily active users and this is monthly active users. DAU is daily active users. Now the outcome metrics, CLTV is basically customer lifetime value. So from this particular metric, we'll understand whether this is making business sense. Uh, the third thing was whether the customers are satisfied or not. So we have different metrics for that as well. NPS is only one of them. NPS is Net Promoter Score. You might have already seen that in some product they'll ask you a question: will you refer this product to your close friend or close family, right? And this will be uh, in a 1 to 10 rating, and that is basically NPS. That is NPS. You might have already seen that in some cases. And the fourth thing is it's about a growth. The fourth point is adoption metric. So if new users are adopting this product very easily, right, that means your growth of your company will be really high. So this is also an important metric. Uh, and this whole topic is we'll be covering this topic in another chapter called optimization. So let's take a pause and think about what we have covered. It is product discovery, product delivery, and optimization, which means we have understood what the users want and we have created a plan for that. Now we have executed the plan in product delivery and then we have optimized the product after delivering the product. And the fourth item we are covering in this course is case solving. So case solving is majorly focused on the interviews, how to crack interview, what are the questions, what are the kind of questions that is being asked, right? And many of the interview questions are they'll be giving you a particular case. So let's say for an e-commerce company, people are adding the items into cart, but they are not paying for it. So the payment is not happening. So why is that? This might be one case. This is just an example I'm giving. So cases like this, you have to practice solving these kind of cases to crack the interview. So that is the fourth item we'll be covering in this course, which is how to crack the interviews. We'll be practicing few cases as well. So yeah, we are coming to the end of this video. So I would like you to look at this particular course content. In the next video, we'll be talking about what happens in product management. Like we have got a brief about the theory of product management right now. What does really happen in companies? That is in next video, we'll be covering that. And after that, we'll be covering product discovery, details about that. What are the different discovery techniques? And then we'll cover product delivery, product optimization, and there is one thing we didn't talk about, which is market intelligence and strategy. So if you uh, remember the slide in delivery, right? So strategy usually product heads or founders work on strategy. Associate product managers or product managers usually don't work on that in a big organization. So that is why we won't be focusing on this particular. We'll briefly talk about this, but we won't be covering so many details on product strategy and market intelligence because this course is primarily focused on people who are trying to get into product management who doesn't have the basic context of product management. So we won't be covering that particular market intelligence and strategy that deeply, but we'll still talk about it. We'll still understand what is it about. And the last part will be case solving. So if you are joining any company as a product manager or associate product manager, the things I have highlighted in yellow: product discovery, delivery, and optimization. These are the three things you will probably be working on in any company if you join as a fresher, as a new product manager, right? So yeah, this is again, I'm assuming that this course is watched by people who are freshers, like less than 2 years of experience, or students, and that uh, that's the end of it. So thank you for watching, and in the next video, as discussed, we'll be covering what really happens in product management, what are the practicalities of product management, right? That we'll be covering in that next video. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.